Welcome back to another Jesse Rucinski show. Minus the headphones. It's a big one. Hopefully, it doesn't come back to bite me, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. And there's two things to discuss today. First one's going to be, the judge in the Derek Chauvin trial, which we all know is going on right now. Closing arguments happened, and the jury's doing their thing and all that. That's going on. And he responded to Maxine Waters, and then, well, there's idiots that I have to get into. That's can't take idiots that apparently can't use their brain. They just feed into what everyone says about a certain percentage of the voting population in the country. Yeah. So Maxine, though, apparently, I pull up my phone so people know because I did not want to write down the definition for abhorrent because, I got to be able to read it anyway. But the judge called Maxine Waters words abhorrent, which means inspiring disgust and loathing and repugnant, which is a good word, abhorrent. Doesn't get used very often, but it's a good word. It describes it very well. And that he also said that she needs to remember the oath that she took. Yeah, to the Constitution, uphold it, and to the separation of powers. That she shouldn't be there just saying things like that, incendiary things in the situation that they're in, which is true. Granted, he said a bunch of other stuff, but which I think is going to get the case just blown to hell, and it's going to cause even more hell to break loose. Not sequestering the jury and all. I told them not to watch the news, so each got to pick up one of these. If you're not watching the news, what everything's posted right on there. Like, I just think it's going to lead to a really quick appeal at that, but that's for another day when it happens. Yeah, Maxine Waters, though, those words abhorrent. And of course, after they went after Donald Trump and impeached him for saying to peacefully and patriotically march down there and let your voices be heard, they impeached him because that was apparently inciting, even though the lady that did the impeachment was Nancy Pelosi. She led the charge, even though she had the request for backup before the 6th that she turned down, denied, because they knew it was coming, which means they impeached him when they knew that his words weren't incendiary and causing anything. Like, we all know that. I went over it before. If you have a brain, you can figure that out on your own. If they were already, the pipe bombs were planted the night before, and they knew it was coming before and requesting for help, that means it wasn't his words at all. So I'm not screaming like heaven. It doesn't take much. And then, of course, there's Nancy Pelosi, the lady that impeached Trump, said all these bad things about him. And impeached him like, she doesn't need to apologize. She didn't say anything wrong. Of course, because that just proves the horrific double standard that there is in the country and with our government and with the people that support each side. Sadly, a lot of the people I know that are on the left, there's very few of them, but they all hate hypocrisy and all that stuff in their own personal life. And when people do that to them, but yet they have no problem with their political leadership. They're elected officials doing it left, right, and indifferently, and that's okay. Or the lies coming from the media that get proven to be lies. No, we're still the crazy people. That's the part that kills me more than anything. There are some people out there I love just like family, and they just talk so much trash about me. Say that we're all crazy, we're this, we're that, even though every time we get proven right, they just go off on us. But Trump, but nothing. But does it surprise anyone that Nancy Pelosi was all screw it? Well, she doesn't have anything to apologize for. I wasn't surprised by it. Hope none of you were surprised by it. You shouldn't be. It's what they do. It's what they've been doing for years, especially Maxine Waters. She's always been there saying crazy stuff like that, but especially since Trump. Getting their face pushed back, let them know they're not accepted here. They're not welcome here, all that about Trump and his supporters and his cabinet and everything. She was saying that for years, that they were all just a bunch of uneducated hillbillies and they needed to go. And again, get in their face. Now she's telling people to get more confrontational, even though 30 people died, over 2,000 law enforcement across the board, state, local, federal, all that. People, National Guardsmen, whatever. 2,000 got injured last year during all that. All the federal agents that got hurt, blinded, a lot of them from lasers at the courthouse in Portland, again, 30 deaths. Like, there's just so much that happened during all that, like $2 billion in insurance claims alone possible, like out of Minneapolis, which is pretty close to where this most recent event happened. Like, it happened all over the place. Like, how the hell are they going to get more confrontational than that? People died. Cities burnt to the ground. Billions of dollars in damages. Billions with a B. Lives that are never coming back. And she's telling people to get more confrontational. Like, how are you going to get more confrontational than burning everything to the ground and killing people and injuring over 2,000 people? You know, that's just law enforcement. It's not regular people. Like 60 plus Secret Service members from, things at the Capitol, which didn't last nearly as long as some stuff. I mean, like, it was going on forever and ever. And she's going to get a free pass for saying it. Guarantee if I said something like that, Ted Cruz, Donald Trump, anyone said anything like he did, they'd be getting rung over up a flagpole. I mean, hell, look at the guys that are actually questioning, like some states, like the Democrats do every time they lose an election. And they lost book deals, and they were trying to run them completely out of their jobs. But they got elected out of their seats for supporting that, which the Democrats had a lot of support for after Trump won, after everything, like they always do it. And she's going to get away with saying that and absolutely nothing. But again, it doesn't surprise me. It seems to surprise a lot of people, but it doesn't surprise me. That's the way it's been going for forever now. Anyone that was paying attention until the last 2 years, which is what most people did, the last year or so, suddenly boom, they were paying attention. And they picked the mainstream media instead of doing some research on their own to see anything that they're saying, which 90% has been refuted and rebuked and proven to be garbage. Yet these idiots still take it as the gospel. Apparently critical thinking is too hard. Maybe reading. Takes 45 seconds to type in, not even. They'll type in and find a bunch of different articles to look up whatever you're looking for. Where you can find real numbers, real stats, real facts. But you can search up bills all and of themselves and read it yourself instead of listening to people. It's not that hard. It's like people say, apparently you didn't read the Georgia thing. Well, apparently you're trying to tell me that you did when you didn't, because I read the thing. I just I have a fully functioning brain. To all you people, again, that said you read it, how many pages was it? Come back and tell me, then we'll know who read it. You just listen to what the media told you. But, anyway, back to the critical thinking thing. She's going to get away with it, no matter what the judge says, no matter what says. Pelosi said she was okay. And then people on the right, the conservatives, that all got called, uneducated hillbillies, idiots, Trump supporting, Bible thumping, gun toting, just retards, really. That's what they called everybody. Turning around and freaking out on all the stuff that got posted that, Kevin McCarthy is only going for a censure. Well, as most people apparently are really thick, who has the majority right now? Yeah, see, when you think about that, how are they going to, the Republicans, while they're in the minority, going to do anything greater than that? Thankfully, she apparently, from some reports, pissed off enough Democrats that will vote for her. But I mean, think how bad it is. Because look at the squad's done, raising money and, primarying people. And those people, lost, and their picks got in. It's not good to go against, the crazies. But there's a bunch, apparently, few enough to get the censure gone through a social loser chairwoman spot. What the hell else were they going to do? Just like when they got into, Tim Scott did the, reform bill for the police reform bill and all the Democrats turned it down and, did the filibuster, man. So it didn't get to the floor because it didn't go big enough, because apparently, you can't just slowly pass things. Okay, that starts there and then it gets the ball rolling at least. No, we couldn't do any of that. Because they can't get anything through, and you think they're going to get anything through on some, those crime reformers, what everyone's been talking about, policing reform. That got shot down. You think they're going to get more than a censure? If they get that, thankfully, there's enough Democrats that apparently are pissed off she's going to lose her chairwoman spot for being an idiot because her words finally caught up to her. Possibly. There's not a snowflake's chance in hell that they were getting anything more than that there. So what the hell are people jumping up on the GOP? Like people that are like Democrat, like Republicans, Democrats, everyone, but especially Republicans, alleged conservatives. Of course, the GOP tapping out, shooting way under where they should, letting them get away with whatever they want. What the hell else were they gonna do? She'll lose her chair spot. She'll keep her seat, but she'll lose the chairwoman spot. Of which, do you really think that when the Democrats have the majority, they're going to let the Republicans remove her from her spot? Like, if you think that, you really are, you're dumb. I don't care what side you're on. Like, it wasn't ever going to go through a censure. They can, that'll get her from her chairwoman spot, which is better than nothing, which they would have got if they went any higher because we don't have the majority, which means they'll shoot down anything. If they really, if it came down to more than a censure, trying to remove her from her seat, they will all close ranks and it'll go down party lines and it won't get done. So, they're doing the only thing they actually physically can, which is better than actually doing nothing in this situation. So, all you people in the GOP, maybe you should critically think, read, understand how this all works. All you people complaining because there's no other option. Either go really big and get nothing or censure. And they might be able to pick up the votes to do that, which does give her at least something, which is better than going really big and it getting shot down, her getting nothing. I don't know if that's too hard to get through people's heads. Maybe I'm just being mean. I don't know. But what do you think was going to happen? What else could they do? There's literally no other option. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, telling anyone that they're dumb because it's not nice, but you have to be stupid to not actually know how the game is played at this point. After all these years, yeah, that's all they could do. And they might actually get it, which is better than we thought. But if they went bigger, they weren't getting it. So what's the point of trying if you're not going if she's going to walk away with no repercussions? You get the censure, you get enough votes that she loses her chair spot, with woman's spot, which is way better than going way bigger or not getting anything. It's the game we sadly have to play in the political landscape of the country. But I don't get how people don't understand that. Maybe I'm just, I don't know, maybe I'm too angry. Maybe I have too much common sense. Maybe I have a cat that just jumped into my lap. In case you're confused, it's right there. But I mean, what else? What do you think was what was the other possibility? No one's actually told me that. What were they supposed to do? Because it wasn't going to get them anywhere. So how about you critically think and use your damn heads before you go and spout off and just sound stupid? Which falls into what they say about all of us. If there's not a snowflake's chance in hell that they were getting anything more than the censure out of this. It wasn't going to happen. They would never get the votes. That many people won't cross party lines. They won't risk it. If they're all quite happy with their spots and making all the money, they are pretty much do nothing most of the time. So, and they know they will get primaried out because the squad did a lot of that. They have since they got there. They can primary people to hell and raise a lot of money. So McCarthy and them are doing the only thing they can. It looks like they're going to again get the vote. So what the hell else do you want from them? This is actually better than going big because then they'd get nothing. At least this gets something and knocks her out of her chairwoman spot. So, and come on, use your head or something. I'm not trying to be mean, but for cripe's sake, please use your heads. It's not that hard. With that being said, again, I appreciate all the views, the likes every time you watch me. Videos are all across Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble under the same name as the show. And then the audio only, which I do separately, is on Spotify, Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, a bunch of other spots. It's all there. I appreciate those too. If you get on there and just give me a follow on all of them that you have, just give me followers and listens, help out the sponsor and all that. Appreciate that. You don't have to look at my ugly mug then either. Has to be a plus if we're being 100% honest here. But I appreciate it all. Again, share it out, comment, tell me what you think. I'll be back at you tomorrow. See what kind of other. I mean, it's way too early to think it's over, but for the day. Like it's a crazy long day and more stupid stuff's going to happen. But enjoy the rest of your day. Hang out with people. Enjoy the weather. I don't know. Go out on a bike ride like I did. Have a good conversation. Watch NXT. I don't know. But do something to enjoy your day. And until tomorrow, my friends, thanks for watching and peace.